Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another celebrity conspiracy theories. Honestly, I say a lot of videos are my favorite videos to film, but I really love celebrity conspiracy theories just because it's so interesting, and I think celebrities are very interesting people. Well, let's get into it. So the first celebrity conspiracy theory that we're going to be talking about revolves around Anne Hathaway. So Anne Hathaway, as you guys probably know, is a very, very famous actress. She's super well renowned and she just is amazing. I fucking love Anne Hathaway and she's honestly perfect. Basically, Twitter discovered that Anne Hathaway's husband looks a lot like William Shakespeare, and like I will say the resemblance is actually pretty spot on. I think they actually do look a lot alike, but that's kind of besides the point. I mean, not really, it is part of it. I guess Twitter also realized that Anne Hathaway was actually the name of William Shakespeare's wife, so that is kind of weird. I don't really think Anne Hathaway looks like the Anne Hathaway that we know now, but obviously the name is very similar, and it is really weird that Shakespeare looks so much like her husband. Also, it's like a long time ago, so it was like painting rather than actual pictures of people, but I think if anything, I feel like that makes it like he probably could have looked even more like Adam Schulman than like the picture, like the painting. So who really knows? So something that's even weirder, I'm putting quotes around weirder because I couldn't actually find any information that would say that this was definitely true, but apparently a lot of people believe and remember learning that Shakespeare actually said to his wife Anne Hathaway that I will be famous in this life and you can be famous in the next, which is obviously just kind of fucking weird if that's true. Like, I don't know. I wish I could like know for facts if that like he actually said that, but obviously we probably could never know if that's genuinely true. But I mean, sources do say that he said that. I think that's kind of fucking creepy because obviously Anne Hathaway is the famous one in the relationship between her and her husband. Her husband is an actor, but like he's not anywhere near as famous as Anne Hathaway. It's kind of freaky. I don't know, and that could be why she still has the same name. Honestly, don't know. That's like one of the theories. Other people believe that they're actually vampires, which I'm sure about that. Like either vampires or time travelers. Time travelers, I mean, maybe makes a little bit more sense, but like also I mean, I don't know what I think because I usually don't believe in coincidences. But for the time travelers theory is that William Shakespeare is actually Adam Schulman and that Anne Hathaway is actually Anne Hathaway. Of course, what's interesting about like old paintings of people is that you'll never know exactly what they actually looked like because it was before the camera was invented, it was before pictures existed, so it's just a painting, so it just is kind of like a resemblance, but they could be like the exact same face and like we wouldn't ever actually know. So that kind of freaks me out a little bit. But people think that Anne Hathaway and her husband are actually time travelers and they actually are William Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway, his wife. I think that that's kind of an interesting theory. I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but I will say that Anne Hathaway has not aged one fucking day. Like literally people used this as evidence towards the theory that they're time travelers, and they took into account that Anne Hathaway still looks literally amazing from Princess Diaries, which was 17 years ago, and now. So I will say that it's definitely interesting how little she has aged, but then again, you don't know what kind of like work she's gotten done. She does look very natural, I would say. I'm also not a plastic surgeon, so a lot of people in Hollywood do get like fillers and stuff like that to keep them looking younger. I think that it's just like weird, and it's something that I like say, like William Shakespeare really did say to his wife, I'll be famous in this life and you can be famous in our next lives together. And you know, maybe that really is their next life. Like, I don't know if I believe in past lives. It kind of creeps me out. Basically, if past lives happen the way that we think that they happen, which is that we don't actually remember the past life, then theoretically Anne Hathaway would have no idea that her and her husband were William Shakespeare if that were true. So I think that's kind of weird because in the sense of I would be so scared. Like if this was me, I would be so freaked out that I actually like it was true, and like we just would never know. Like, I don't know. I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. But I will say I don't think that they're vampires or time travelers. What do you guys think though? The next celebrity conspiracy theory that we're going to be talking about surrounds around Elvis Presley. So Elvis is someone that you guys have asked me to talk about for so long, probably as long as like I've been doing conspiracy theories, because it's a super popular theory, but I don't really think I've ever talked about it. Definitely I've never made like a single video, like a whole video about it, which I could still do if you guys were really interested in that. Let me know. I think 3 years ago I talked about it in a video, but I mostly focused on the theory that Elvis has a twin, which if you guys want a full video on that and full update on that, because there has been updates and DNA tests and all that shit on Elvis, then you can let me know in the comments below if you want like a full video on him, because honestly it's just, there's so much with with Elvis, so like I don't even know where to begin. So basically a lot of people, as you guys probably know, believe that Elvis didn't actually die the day that he died on August 16th, 1977. Cause of death changed kind of a few times, which kind of leads into the conspiracy theory that it's all fake. Basically, at first it was said that he had a heart attack. He was only 42 years old, so obviously that's just kind of weird. Later, the toxicology report was actually that he was so drugged up on all of these prescription pills that caused him to have a heart attack, which is obviously possible, but at the same time, a lot of people did not believe that Elvis was dead. For starters, one of the weirdest reasons that people don't think that Elvis died is that his middle name, Aaron, was spelled incorrectly on his gravestone, which is obviously really fucking weird, because usually people around them would check to make sure it's accurate, like their family, friends, stuff like that. But not only that, if it wasn't accurate, like they would probably have it changed. Like that's just weird. However, a lot of people say that Elvis started to go by Aaron with 2 A's towards the end of his life, which doesn't really make sense, because I feel like why would you care about your middle name? Like, you know what I mean? Like if my middle name, I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna add an extra A to it because I fucking feel like it, like halfway through my damn life. Like I just think that's bizarre. I don't believe that. I think that's so bait. I think that's so weird. Like, who would care enough about their fucking middle name? Like if you're gonna change your middle name, then you would change it probably altogether. You wouldn't just change the spelling. It's bizarre. Because his name was spelled incorrectly, people believe that he thought it would be too morbid to put his actual name on a tombstone, so that's why he decided to go with a different spelling of the middle name, because that's technically not his name. So I don't know, I feel like if I were to fake my death, I would feel kind of the same way. Like I feel like it just like is a bad vibe or a bad omen to like, you know, have your full name on like a death certificate and stuff like that. So it is interesting that the choice of spelling was different than it was at birth. So as soon as people saw this, people started to believe that Elvis's death was a hoax altogether. Elvis was a very sad person. He would talk about his feelings a lot, like a lot of people in Hollywood do. He would talk about feeling lonely and feeling overwhelmed with all of the fame and the pressure. So naturally, people believe that Elvis faked his own death in order to escape all the media, escape all of the bullshit that comes with being one of the biggest celebrities in the world. So there is like a little bit of evidence, quote unquote, that this is actually true. And we're gonna talk about that now. So like I said, the first thing would obviously be the spelling of his middle name on his tombstone. I think that that's the weirdest piece of evidence of all of the Elvis evidence. But the next piece of evidence is pretty interesting as well. Like this part is allegedly, so it's harder to, you know, make a real point and make a real statement about it, which is like why it sucks. But also if it were true, it probably still would be allegedly, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that we would have a straight up answer if it were true or not. So it's kind of just interesting information to take in. But basically a nurse claimed she was at the hospital the day that Elvis's body was taken into the hospital, and that she said, that's literally not Elvis Presley. Like she was like, that's not Elvis. I don't know who that is. It's definitely not Elvis. And allegedly she was warned by the government to stay silent about that. But obviously she didn't. Who is this nurse? Where is she? Nobody knows. However, a lot of people have claimed to see Elvis. There have been literally countless amounts of Elvis sightings all over the fucking world, and so many people believe that they've seen Elvis. Most popularly, a lot of people think that Elvis Presley can actually be seen in the movie Home Alone. I don't think that it looks like Elvis that much to me, but I will say that kinda, like I guess it could be, but like I feel like there's no way that like most of Hollywood knows the truth about Elvis and it hasn't come out yet, like legitimately come out yet, you know what I mean? In that case, like Kevin McAllister, like you know, Macaulay Culkin would know about it, Catherine O'Hara, like the people that were on set and the producers and other extras, like they would know that that was Elvis. I mean, maybe they wouldn't though, because, you know, there are so many fucking people that look like Elvis. There's so many Elvis impersonators. There's people that sound like Elvis. So it's really hard to say for sure if any sightings are real Elvis sightings or not. Home Alone, I don't think that it would be a real Elvis sighting, because like, why would he do that? But like, you know what I mean? Like if you're trying to keep it off the radar, I doubt you're gonna like be like, let's go to a Hollywood set. Like, the last piece of evidence that I'm gonna be talking about today actually did kind of get me, because it's real evidence, but like it's just kind of up for interpretation, if you know what I mean. So in 2003, Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, was on Larry King Live. So she was talking to Larry King, and Larry King asked her, do you ever feel, quote, do you ever feel communication with your father? Like, do you ever feel channeling? Some people claim that they feel their father or their mother departed around them. So Lisa answered this, like getting really, really uncomfortable, and said, I don't know, we're getting into a hairy, controversial field here, and I'd rather ... I'd rather, and then she took some pauses and she was like, I mean, I don't want to answer, basically. Which to me is just really fucking weird. Like, I don't know about that. Because why would you say that it's a controversial topic? 2003, I think people were definitely speculating that Elvis was secretly alive, but like, I just don't think that there's anything controversial about seeing, you know, feeling like a spirit or feeling like an energy. Like, you could just be like, yeah, like I always feel my dad with me. Like, of course, that's how I feel. Like, you know, like it just was a very weird way of handling the conversation and handling the question, that it makes me wonder, like, you know, maybe Elvis really is alive and maybe his family really knew. And, you know, it's a possibility. I mean, it would take a lot of money to pull off faking a death, and, you know, Elvis definitely was somebody that had it. So what do you guys think? Like I said, if you want a full video on Elvis, let me know in the comments below, because there's so much fucking information. But I chose the most like interesting evidence that I could find. But let me know. And let me know any other evidences that you have below. Last conspiracy theory that we're gonna be talking about was sent to me a couple times, and I thought that it was pretty interesting because I completely like blocked out this situation in my mind, but it is about Ariana Grande being haunted. So as you guys know, and as pretty much everybody knows, Ariana Grande has had a really rough past 2 years, just a lot of different really tragic things happening to her. And a lot of people think that maybe she just has bad luck, but other people claim that maybe she's actually cursed. I guess I never really thought of this because, I mean, things happen, like that's just kind of how life works. But something interesting did happen in 2013, and if you remember this, you're a fucking real one. Like, it's, I mean, I don't know, like I've been a fan of Ariana for 9 years now, because it was 2010 and we're in 2019 now, and this shit is crazy. Like, I remember this so vividly, and I was terrified, like terrified for Ariana, scared that even me reading the situation was going to haunt me and like kill me. So I remember this very well. Ariana Grande has always been into creepy shit, like paranormal things, ghost hunting. She even went ghost hunting with Colleen and Glozell, which I saw that video. It was 6 years ago. I literally feel like I watched that actually yesterday, like I remember that coming out. But she went ghost hunting with Colleen and Glozell. She was always into this type of creepy stuff. She still is. She talks about it quite often though, so you probably know that already. However, on September 1st of 2013, Ariana shared a very terrifying experience in a thread of tweets, and I hated it. Like, I remember this day fucking well, and it creeped me out, and I'm gonna tell you about it, and then we'll get into the conspiracy about all of it together. Basically, Ariana and some of her friends went ghost hunting in one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world. Ariana claims that she took a picture of a tree outside of the cemetery, and it was a completely normal photo, and then she went to take another picture of the tree like a minute later, and there was 2 faces in the picture of the tree, like in the tree, very distinctly. And I remember I was so scared when she said this, but she claims that the faces were shockingly obvious, and she was basically went on Instagram to say why she didn't want to share the photo, which is because she was like, I don't want to like haunt you guys, like I don't want any of this shit to happen to you, I don't like want any bad things to come from it, and like it's just is too terrifying. Like, she was really scared to post it, which I get completely. I wouldn't want to see it, so I was really happy that she didn't post it. But the video has since been deleted, but that's kind of the gist of what I remember her saying. It was when it was 2013, so it was kind of before Ariana was making like headlines, and like normally that stuff would have been recorded and put on like a bunch of like clever TV and like stuff like that, but because it was 2013, I can't fucking find it. If you can, leave it below. So basically she was saying that she didn't want to haunt any of her fans, and it gets even scarier, and that's probably what made her have the decision to not share the picture. So Ariana claims her mom got so scared and she was like, please delete it, Ariana, like I hate that, like literally delete it now. But Ariana chose to keep the picture. The scariest part, literally, I feel like I cried like reading this in 2013. Ariana woke up that night to a text from no number, like literally from no number, and the text was the fucking picture of the damn tree with the faces in it. Hello? Like, I literally hate that. And so many people were commenting like, please post the picture, like we want to see it, we want to see it, and I was like, bitch, please don't. After a couple weeks, like, you know, life went on. However, a couple people DM me bringing this up to me and being like, do you remember in 2013 like when Ariana got haunted by like the tree and like all that stuff? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, well, what if she's cursed from that Pacific, ew, sorry, I say Pacific in my real life as jokes, but specific event. Basically people have conspirized that maybe that is why she has gone through so much the past couple years, is because she is actually cursed by a demon or something. I don't even want to say it because I get scared. But I don't like paranormal shit, you guys know. But basically people think that she might have been cursed by something, and that is why her life has had so many tragedies in it. You know, it's I feel like it's kind of demeaning to be like, it's because you did this, because like then it seems like it's blaming Ariana for like anything that's happened to her, which obviously isn't true, or at least blaming like a demon or like something like that, which I don't know if I think it's like true necessarily. I do think that the story itself is really fucking terrifying, and it still creeps me out, you know, 6 years later. So I don't know, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the reason that Ariana has had such hardships in the past couple of years is due to a demon possibly possessing her or cursing her? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that is it. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Like I said, let me know in the comments below any thoughts you have on these conspiracy theories. Also, I'm going to New York City next week, so I wasn't going to post a video, but then I decided I should film like a conspiracy mukbang again, because I love mukbangs and I love conspiracies, so I think it would be super fun to film with some of my friends that I'm going to New York with. They're YouTubers, you might know them, Kira and Chip. But yeah, that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.